Give that a down bow. Wait, think you're a tough guy, huh? You don't even have a weapon. That's a lot of VRAM. I believe I have bricked the install. Holy crap. I think this is probably the best this map has ever run. Why does it look like Chappie? Oh, do I have a weird one for you guys today. It's got antennas. It's got a touch screen. It was made in August 2018. And oh brother, does it have gaming ports. I just remembered the screen is down there. Whoops. That's not a good sign. USB triple, LAN 1, LAN 2, grandpa port. Do not remove. Removes the do not remove, which looks to have revealed a prepubescent HDMI port. Below that is a real HDMI port. Audio in, out, that one. And now, what do we have here? I hate cereal. And what the heck is this? Actually, I think, yes, it is a 3.5mm jack. But why is he over here? What, he can't be with his buddies? Come on, we abolished segregation. We're better than this. So we got ourselves a wacky boy today. And it appears to open from the top. What's inside? I don't even have a name for it yet. Alright, what's the first text I see? PAX Gear by Highland. What's in... without working on real projects and actually writing a lot of code for them. Boot.dev integrates key mechanics from the gaming world, like XP levels and achievements, to keep you engaged and excited to keep learning. By completing interactive lessons that teach you things like web development with languages like Python and Go, you gain valuable coding skills while kind of just feeling like you're gaming. Go to boot.dev and use my code Bringus Studios to get 25% off your entire first year when you choose an annual plan. Oh, look at that. Look at how cute that is. I'm gonna stand my RAM up vertically like a real computer. 4 gigabytes of PC3. Wasn't this made in 2018? Yeah, that's when Coffee Lake came out. Or actually, Coffee Lake came out in 2017. They switched to DDR4 in 6th gen. Okay, so this thing was not cutting edge, not even for 2018. God knows what kind of edge that makes it now. What is the opposite of cutting edge? Dull edge, I suppose. I hate this particular antenna. Dull edge, I suppose. No, I hate this particular antenna. Megahertz. CPU 3200 megahertz. in Linux? Do I want to find out? No! What was that, like, degenerate CPU that was in this thing? i5 4400E. I wonder if I can change the brightness. No. But anyway, the 4400E means that our graphics is Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. Yeah, that's not right. Hold on, need the driver. Intel HD graphics 4600. Sounds pretty fast. What is this icon? Go away. Nope. How do you get rid of this? I'm gonna give that a downvote. What if I just default it? Aha! Never again will I ever learn about this picture. Just how I like it. I have installed Steam. It is not going too quickly. I imagine those 4 gigs of RAM are not really affording us very much of, well, anything. Hello again. Dude, well, I just so happen to have 16 gigs of DDR3 right here. I will admit, the vertical SODIMM slots, they're a bit goofy. They don't feel great. I feel like I'm going to do the thing that the person in that one GIF does, where they just obliterate the RAM slot. Wow, okay. Yeah, that was incredibly unsatisfying. The user's password must be changed before signing in. No, I don't think it does. That's what I thought. Alright, 16 gigs of RAM. Now it's a gaming computer. Now surely this thing should be able to play Half-Life 2, yeah? Although Half-Life 2 did just get a big update, and we could switch back to the older build. But what was it that I said a couple of videos ago? It's not screaming. It's not in agonizing pain. I feel like if I don't get my torture fix, I'm going to have to move on to torturing something else. And torturing people is not legal. Yeah, I choose torture. Highest everything. Classic effects disabled. Whoop, and the menu's made for ants again. I want to show you guys a trick. Oh, hold on. What is going on? I forgot I had the ear rape mod on. Okay, that should help. I did it! Looks like I'm gonna board that train to Nova Prospect. What, you think you're a tough guy, huh? You don't even have a weapon. I can bother you all I want. And ironically, the one with the gun doesn't even have the balls to try and push me. How far back does this go? To exactly this line, which is about this far away. That is significantly deeper than it needs to be. Nothing like a no draw to brighten up your day. Anyway, we seem to be getting a cinematic experience today. Very original Xbox-esque. What if we made it hurt just a little bit less? Maybe not 8x MSAA. How about 2? Alright, we gained like between 10 and 20 FPS. That's pretty significant. How about 720p? 90 FPS? Okay, so it just didn't like the resolution, really. Alright, this is pretty good. Not bad for a dual-core E chip with no GPU. Now, I'm trying to figure out which of these two is going to be more painful. I do not even think we're going to get this one to launch. So, we'll try that. Yeah, I figured. What about this one? Oh man, is it trying. That's a lot of VRAM. I hear the music. Hello? Alright, we're going to try this fix from Mr. Death XV. Apparently this is just a thing that happens. We got to make a file called doomconfig, dump in the magic words from the magic man, change it to .local. Oh, look at that! It actually got in! What the heck, dude? You're not getting off easy today, Intel HD Graphics 4600. Okay, we're gonna go up to 720p, FXAA, motion blur off, overall quality low, and we'll call that good. You know what? 16 FPS, I have seen worse. However, just because I've seen worse does not mean that I do not want to once again see worse. Overall quality, ultra. Please don't crash. Come on, you're only at 10 gigs of RAM. You can allocate some more, come on. It appears to be bound and determined to not do that. Alright, bye-bye. I believe I have bricked the install. I restarted the game to go and set the graphics to like high or something that's not ultra. And, nope. He's done. He has decided that this world is no longer for him. Rest in peace, Doom 2016. I'm sure this will be so much better. Wow. I'm scared to click anything. Close. Wait. It's not dead yet. Wow. Oh, and there's Task Manager. Jeez, okay. We need to get these settings turned down pronto. Alright, 720p. Everything low. Oh, crap. It's already there. VSync is already off. Oh, no. Okay, never mind about 720p. We're gonna go to my favorite resolution. 320 by 240. Alright. We're ready to play. Dude, these are just like ancient runes on my screen. Is this the full screen button? Yes. Okay, we are gaming. Holy crap. What a loading screen. You know, something tells me we're not getting in game. Oh, jeez. Holy crap. Windows just breaks down at this resolution. I can't even close the game. Task Manager won't open. Can we get to the desktop? What in the name? This is over here? I don't think I've ever seen Windows more broken. Can we get back into Steam?
Nope.
No? What is this bar? This is like the taskbar, but a floaty one? Can I close it now?
Nope.
No? This is amazing. I'm astounded. What if we just exited all of Steam? Oh, we can't get to the button to do it! Hold on, what if we started a different game? Please just don't launch two of them. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna be doing much of anything. We're just gonna go and hit the extremely large restart button. It was so big! Well, now that we have seen the true wonder of the PAX Gearby Highland, I am truly wondering myself, is this it? Is this the best we can do? And I'm sure you're thinking the same thing. You're like, hey dumbass, we're only 19 minutes into the video. It can't be over yet, right? I'm not f***ing around this time. Whoops. Oh, dude, this connector is so fucked. So much better. I've made a couple of discoveries. So this board in the back here, this is like a speaker driver. I think it was kind of like an off-the-shelf thing, considering that 3.5mm jack is still there. This is like where you plug in your headphones on a set of desk speakers. Obviously, you could not do that in this. But these things on the side, these little black boxes, these are speakers. And you know, they're not actually half bad. I'll have to play them for you guys later because I'm stupid and forgot that I unplugged everything. But this thing can go. The left speaker may have to get relocated. It depends on how snug the GPU will be. This is gonna have to get, one slot ain't enough. Well, actually, we could use one slot. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. This fan is fine. We should be able to reuse the front I/O. And hopefully, we can reuse the screen. The screen is tricky though. So that was the connector for the screen. And not only is that completely destroyed, it went into this bizarro port on the old motherboard. LVDS? Yeah, that's a new one to me. That's whatever. I'll figure it out. For now, I just want to make sure that we can get this board in. Man, we really lucked out. It just uses a standard audio interface, standard fan headers, standard USB connections, standard front panel. As bizarre as this thing is, it really it's just a PC. It just kind of smells like MRSA. Holy crap, this is a heavy unit. In you go. Nice, little buddy, nice. We are in-ish. I think between this monstrously huge back plate on the back of the motherboard and this cable here that runs along the bottom to the speaker, there's not enough clearance to put this in. That's okay. Who needs their wires routed? Surely not me. Alright, one more time. Perfect. It's like a match made in sterile heaven. Okay, now, the GPU. I'm gonna take the bracket off for now, just so we can get it inside. Thank you, PNY, for this incredibly accessible screw. Wow, this just sucks. I want to try and cheese it. I think it can be done. Come on. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, not onto the motherboard. I guess Linus knew what he was talking about when he wanted long blades on his screwdriver.
A longer blade portion of a bit.
Okay, now that we are bracketless, please tell me this will kind of just work. No. This is in the way. Thank you for your service, metal tab thing, but I'm just gonna need you to lay low for a little bit. Okay, how about now? Oh, it's so close. I appreciate the work that you have put in, little random antenna, but if you could just go quietly, I think that'd be best for everyone. We're gonna have to put something there now. When life gives you a hole, naturally you gotta put something in it. All right, are we good? Yeah, we are. Oh, uh-oh. So, yikes. I figured we were gonna have to extend the lid anyway, because, where was this supposed to go? Remember, it originally didn't need a power supply. The board just had a DC input jack, so we gotta find room for this whole thing. Luckily, it's SFX though, so it's very tiny. Look at this, dude. It's a power supply for mole people. It's gonna be tricky though, because I can't block the cooling fan. Oh man, wouldn't that be convenient? Look at that. Look at how perfect that would be. Oh, and we gotta run the power cable somewhere. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. I have 3D printed a lid. Power supply bolts onto it pretty nicely using a couple of brackets. And there's a cutout right here for the GPU. There we go, very nice. And so those are gonna both stick out just a little bit, but I think it looks kind of cool to be honest. The GPU power cable is going to route through this hole. I haven't really tested to see if there's enough clearance between the bottom of this and the top of that to actually cool the thing, but we're getting there, Got some more problems to solve first. Alright, try and follow along because things have gotten kind of weird. Okay, remember the speaker driver? That uses a floppy power connector. Our Corsair power supply is not going to have a floppy power connector. In order to power it, we are going to be pulling 5 volts from the front USB port. I'm not even going to try and show you all that, but just know that the power is coming from where that's connected. Well, you can't just use 5 volts, you also need 12. So we're getting 12 volts from this yellow wire, which is connected all the way over here to this adapter. This is just the 8-pin CPU power cable coming from the power supply, going to this socket. This socket is also providing 12 volts over here, which is going to our LCD screen. This is a disaster, but you should be able to see there's a green board in there. In theory, that green board should be able to drive the screen from an HDMI cable. You see, look at that. We got an HDMI cable plugged into it right here, which is running out the back to the GPU. Currently, this is all theoretical because I have not tried it together yet. I don't even know if the screen's gonna work with this board. I just got it, I just put it in. But, let's find out. Please don't blow up. You know, I find it funny how I can do all this stuff, but I can never remember the orientation for the front power I/O. Okay, now we're good. Nope. Oh, no signal. Okay, well the screen works, but does it get video? Hello? Oh, you know what? I might have to change the input. There's a little button bar, like the buttons on your monitor, you know? I gotta change the source, I imagine. HDMI. Aha! There it is! Yes! Oh my god, I'm so happy. Okay. Let me get this all buttoned up, and then we'll do some real gaming. It is almost there. Weirdly, there was a lot of rewiring I had to do with the power button. Both the power button and the reset button's logic was inverted. It pretended like this was always being held down unless you pushed it in. They were both doing that. So a lot of cutting and soldering was involved. That's taken care of. Let's see, did I get this right? Yes, all right, cool. So all I need now is a right angle PC power cable. As you can sort of see, this one just sticks right out the back. But ideally, it's gonna be able to go this way and then either out this hole, which I don't really wanna do, or I could figure something else out. I don't know. We'll get there when the time comes. So it's as close as I can get it to closing right now. But in this state, I think we can still at least benchmark it. See if our CPU gets to hot lava temperature. Oh yeah, the touchscreen works. Touchscreen works great. The touchscreen is only connected over USB, so it's really not that big of a deal. We got very lucky. All right, time spy extreme. Okay, so we are a little tiny bit under average, but have you seen the setup? Our CPU temperature peaked at, oh, dude, our CPU temperature peaked at, what? Our CPU temperature peaked, I can't even, I'd love to tell you, with the power afforded by the Dirty Cherry keyboard, CPU temperature peaked around 92 C. Not great. But also though, that's in a benchmark, not a real game. Our GPU peak looks like about 78. That's more than fine. And the CPU temperature is probably gonna get worse once this thing is actually all like completely shut, because there's a little extra space here. Remember, that power supply is sandwiched between that CPU fan. So it's probably only gonna get worse, but I don't know, maybe I'll tweak the design to make the power supply come up a little bit more, because it's not really coming up that much. You know, we could afford a little bit more room, maybe like 5 millimeters, no big deal. Actually, after doing another run with the lid like this, it's still bouncing off almost 92 degrees C. I don't think there's any saving this thing. It's just gonna have to burn in its own little PAX gear hell. All right, time to show you guys what this thing can do completely finished. And then I probably ought to tell you the specs of what I put in here, huh? Here it is in its final form, complete with PAX Gear gaming wallpaper. All right, enough suspense. This is what we're packing. The PAX Gear now has a Ryzen 7 5700X3D with an Aorus X570Si motherboard, 32 gigs of DDR4 3200, as well as a 500 gigabyte NVMe SSD. This little bundle was a steal. I paid 420 bucks for it. Funny number. And then to go with that, a PNY RTX 3060. The XLR8 Revel Epic X single fan GPU was one of the only cards that I could find that still had decent power but would actually fit in this thing. I was also able to get the temperatures down a little bit, down to 88.6 degrees Celsius, so we're not thermal throttling anymore, which is great. And the way that I achieved that cooler number, well, as you can see, I ended up flipping the power supply. The fan is now pointed inward. I figured instead of having the CPU try and draw air from nothing, it could just try and draw air through the power supply itself, which is still not great, but again, better than nothing. Oh, what are you doing in there? I told you we were gonna have to fill that hole with something. And I also replaced that noisy rear fan with a little tiny 60mm Noctua fan. There is one goofy thing about mounting the power supply upside down now. In my testing, that power supply fan never even came on, not even once. And in this new orientation, if that power supply fan does come on, I'm not gonna know. You can't see it. But if it does decide to come on, it's going to try and pull air up the power supply and out, and the CPU fan is going to be trying to draw in the same exact air but down, and there's going to be a horrible struggle for air in there. And so that is the gamble that we are currently taking in order to not thermally throttle by shoving our CPU fan against the bottom of the power supply. We live a bit dangerously on this channel now, don't we? So this display ended up being 1280 by 800, and it's only 7 inches, so it actually looks fine. What's also nice about that is that games should run really good. Oh, and get a listen to the speakers on this. It has no right to bump like this! Yeah, so basically it's incredible, and incredibly good at gaming.
Is that Deep Windows Studios?
We're starting at very high video. I don't really see any reason why we'd have to go lower than that. This is also not a great game to start testing this on because we can't see the temperatures. CS2 really does not play nice with MSI Afterburner. But we can at least see our FPS, which is over 300. I think this is probably the best this map has ever run in the history of this channel. This is the best this game has run in the history of this channel. I'm so used to seeing that weird dithering effect and playing at like 0.1 FPS. This is like a miracle. Alright, I think we've seen enough of this. Will we continue to experience great performance, or will we experience eternal doom? Overall quality, ultra nightmare. After seeing what the techno thing could do with integrated graphics, this should still be a walk in the park. DLSS off, ray tracing on. Yep, it's a tank. Just under 200 FPS. And what I was thinking that was going to happen with the temperatures is happening. Because 3D Mark is going to push this thing harder than an actual game would. Because in game, we're playing at 720p essentially. So when you're actually gaming, the system's never going to work that hard. 78 on the GPU, that's about what I expected. But 82 on the CPU, you know, that sounds pretty bad. But for what this thing is, I think that's pretty dang good. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, I want this thing to be on its knees. We need something harder. Unlike Techno, I decided to purchase Cyberpunk 2077. I imagine that should do it. I am not really familiar with this game, but it appears that we are one from the highest graphics preset currently at Ray Tracing Ultra. I'm going to turn DLSS off because this is going to look like complete ass otherwise. Remember, we're only at like 720p. I'm going to leave Ray Traced Lighting at Ultra. This requires at least an RTX 3090 apparently, so we're not going to turn on path tracing yet. And I guess I'm just going to leave everything else as it is. Apply. Alright, here we go. Just like Bart. Oh boy, 37 FPS. Now we're talking. Set broken nose. Oh, can I just leave? Apparently not. Please, I just want to go. I don't want to do the story. Oh wait, my goal is leave the bar? Okay, hold on. Maybe there's something to this story. Aha! We're free. Free to run around and get terrible FPS. Oh wait. Free to run around the basketball court and get terrible FPS. Actually, this isn't bad at all. Man, 720p really is some kind of a magic bullet for frame rate, huh? It appears we're being abducted. In we go. Okay, why don't we take this opportunity to make this thing suffer incredibly hard. Oh, you know, just ray tracing overdrive. DLSS ray reconstruction. All I know is DLSS reduces suffering, so off. Resolution scaling off. Path tracing on. That was the thing that needs a 3090. And everything else as it was. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is it. Look at this. This is what it feels like to have two V-boxes. Our CPU temperature is rising. Oh, and now it's falling. Honestly, it's managing the temperatures pretty fine. ADC on both of them. And they can get like a little noisy. Like, listen to this. That's like not that much louder than any other stupid gaming PC, to be honest. Are we finally free? No. Okay, well, 30-some FPS in Cyberpunk completely maxed out. I still think that's pretty damn good. Remember, though, we are playing at 720p, and that gives us a massive advantage. And there's only one game that I know of that is more intensive than this. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Everything has been set to Ultra, except for this, it only goes to high. We'll turn on all the other stupid stuff, max out everything that we can. And for maximum pain, we're going to be rendering at 2560 by 1422. It's like DLSS if it made it worse. All right, let's do this. New York City, baby. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how you're supposed to take off. F3? No, RPM's going down. Okay, how about an airplane? We'll go to Perth. Nope, no we won't. Other more different New York. Oh, there we go, it launched me already flying. I can work with this. Holy crap, our CPU's at 90! Wait, how do I pitch up? Oh. Wait, hold on, go up. No, we're gonna die! No, you gotta pull up! Alright, I think that's gonna do it for the PAX gear by Highland. Honestly, I kinda love this thing. Is it a practical gaming machine? No. Is anything on this channel? No. But the fact that you can get a little tiny ITX computer thing with a touchscreen on it, how much was this thing? You can get these things for $100. Obviously, you're going to want to toss out the motherboard, but if you're not putting crazy gaming crap in it like I'm doing, you could end up with a pretty neat little computer. And you don't even have to be a crackhead like me and put the power supply halfway out the top. They make motherboards that don't suck that also use a DC input jack. Find a weird board on eBay for your weird computer from eBay, and you'll have a great time. I have a few more of those LCD screen controllers, as well as DC input jacks and VGA inputs, as well as the on-screen display remotes. If you want to buy one of these yourself and you don't want to go through the trouble of trying to source one of these driver boards, these are going to be on my Etsy store in the link in the description. While you're there, go ahead and pick up an official Bringus Studios t-shirt. They fit fucking fantastic. If these are out of stock on the Etsy page, I will also put a link to a place that you can buy these from the supplier. And that's it, my children. Thank you for joining me on this gaming adventure with the PAX gear by Highland. I'll see you in the next one. God, my head! Oh, that really does not feel right. God, I need to stop leaving Prince of Persia on the floor. Seek medical attention? Well, I gotta go! And what if there's permanent damage or worse? Oh. Time to break the Lenovo seal. Wait, is this a map? I just shorted the crap out of it. This thing doesn't have genitals. 400 FPS? The fan went full speed like 7 times. Now nothing. Ah, there it is. YouTube, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Meet Lenovo. Alright, what have I got today? So this is what I believe to be a Google Meet conference computer of some kind. You can tell it's a computer because of this. But from what I understand about this thing, you're supposed to hook up a really big webcam to it, and then you talk to your mom, if your mom is your boss. See, this is kind of more of like a corporate type thing. You wouldn't find this thing in your home. The reason it's in my home is so that I can cause irreparable harm. So let's get started. So I don't know the first thing about taking this apart. There's this big old rubber thing on the bottom. I guess that's a good place to start. Maybe? There's not like a single screw hole on this thing. There's not even an obvious place to like start prying it. That being said, I do assume we're gonna have to pry something. Here's the hood iFixit kit. Oh, what the? It's sticking. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a magnet. Oh, we have lots of magnet. Yo! What the heck? Why would they? What? Are you telling me that Lenovo knows how magnets work? That's insane. Nobody knows how magnets work. Hold on. The ultimate test. Oh, look at that. The hell just stopped moving. Wow. Is this whole thing a magnet? Wait, hold on. We can kind of find where the magnet is. Hold on. There's more where that came from. So based on my highly scientific model here, we have 10 magnets. That's impressive. But how many magnets do I have? 16, 17, 18, 19. 19. You did pretty good, Lenovo, but I have 19 magnets. Better luck next time. Anyway, we should probably put these away. So now that we know that crucial information, still gotta figure out how to open up this thing. Okay, what is this? GQE50L Google Meet Series 1 Room Kit. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have an iFixit tutorial for this one. Okay then, we're on our own, guys. Just me and all 125,000 of you. Truly all alone. So there's like adhesive under there, but that's like gonna come off once and then we'll never go back again. I know earlier I said that I'm down to cause irreparable harm, but like, I don't know. I don't need to, unless I do, I don't know. Is there like a hidden screw? No, wait, maybe? Sometimes you can feel like screw posts through stickers. What the hell, why not?
Nope.
See, this is what I meant by irreparable harm. This is never gonna stick as well ever again. See, look at that. It's lifted for all eternity. Alright, well, off comes the rubber. Oh my god. No! No! Irreparable harm has been caused. I shouldn't be this upset about this, but I am. Whoa, that's interesting. Look at the pattern that they applied the adhesive with. What the heck kind of process is that? You got CNC machines with little tiny glue sticks on the end that just go... That's kind of cool. Anyway, me and the boys looking for some irreparable harm to cause. Yeah.
Them city gamers ain't even know how to skin a Lenovo.
Yeah, look at that. The whole thing is like that. It's like... Wait, is this a map? So here's the focal point. You can see there's a path going this way. There's a pretty open corridor right here, and then there's one diagonally going this way. There's a skinny section we could take around the mound here, but I'm not sure where to go from here. Okay, well, we'll figure that one out another time. That's filthy. But we found our screws. You know how we're taking this thing apart? LTTstore.com. Hey, guess what Linus did? He gave me some special Bringus buttons to buy his screwdriver with. They're down here in the description. Buying through these affiliate links directly supports my channel. Plus, they get you the best multi-bit screwdrivers ever made. Anyway, time to break the Lenovo seal. Okay, now what? Oh, hold on. We do a bit of prying. We must go where no LTT screwdriver has gone before, in a hole smaller than 8 millimeters across. Time to see what's inside the Google Meet computer. Wow, would you look at that? It's like a laptop in a box. SATA M.2. Couldn't have sprung for NVMe? Okay, I see how it is. How much of the denotated stuff do we got? A pacer. A pacer for industrial. Oh my lord, 2 gigabytes. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. We will address that later. CPU, I imagine, is under here, which is our, what was it? 8th gen Intel i7. Okay. Oh my, look at this. It's the world's tiniest BIOS battery. Look at that thing. That's 12 millimeters across. Why are you so small? Here's you, also you, still you. The Ethernet controller she tells you not to worry about. Wi-Fi card. Can't you stick like a PCI Express adapter into these things? I don't know, I've seen Dawood do it a few times. That might be kind of fun. Anything under the fan? I don't know, let's find out. Oh hey, what's up little man? Hey, I'll catch you later. Well, now that we've seen what's inside, let's try turning it on. Which is gonna be easier said than done because of that. Yeah, that's our power plug. Kinda looks like a Ghastly or something. Yeah, I don't have that, but let's see, I think I have something close. I have like that as a plug. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Oh, this thing, hold on. So it can take 19 volts, which is like your standard laptop charger voltage, or 54 volts, which I believe is PoE. Conceivably, I could use this to power it. Probably? I don't know. Maybe this is why this one's got the big Chungus controller? Either way, I don't have any spare DDR4. I also have nothing that uses PoE. You guys know what that means.
It's time for a trip to the e-waste store.
I found a PoE-enabled network switch, and we hooked it up to the port right here that has a little lightning bolt on it. But it turns out that this is not PoE as you traditionally would think of PoE. This doesn't receive power, it gives it out, which is exactly the opposite of what we want. So the network switch with PoE did not power it. So this is my only attack vector. Considering the official AC adapter for this is $168 on eBay, I have decided we're gonna rough it. However, I did get a 16 gigabyte stick of RAM. Extremely denotated. So we'll stick that in when the time comes, but for now I just want to get this thing powered on. Oh, I almost forgot. I also got a Cactus brand SSD, 128 gigabytes, Human Slime Edition, commercial grade. That's how you know it's good stuff. As gaming as this is, it's not going to help us right now though. Right now I got to figure out how we can power it with this guy. Oh, what the heck? There's another SODIMM slot on the back. I could have bought 2 8s. I just bought a single 16. Well, that kind of sucks. All of this stuff was on the bottom, so you're not normally supposed to see this. I mean, well, to be fair, you're not normally supposed to get into this thing at all. But it's just kind of interesting that they have just an SD card slot there. And then what is this guy? It says Coral.ai, Google LLC. This is a custom board by Google. M.2 accelerator with dual edge TPU. What the heck? What is it though? Performs high-speed ML inferencing. Each coprocessor is capable of performing 4 trillion operations per second. Is that impressive? Oh shoot, 400 FPS? Alright, yep, that's all I needed to read. This is literally the most gaming card I've ever seen. 400 FPS? Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Oh man, I've got high hopes for this thing now. 400 FPS, here we come. Okay, so these four on the outside, those are all going to be ground. And then one of these is 54 volts, and then one of them is 19 volts. So now my job is to figure out which one's which without completely blowing this whole thing up. Okay, so when I touch these two guys together, he screams. And by doing that, we can figure out when two things are connected together. The outside of this RJ45 and the outside of this one, they're electrically connected. They're both grounded. You can tell because these little copper things right here are on the ground plane. So you can touch one there, touch one here, they're all ground. Housings on the outside of connectors are almost always on ground, including this one, right here. Look at that. But we can use any points here on the ground plane to connect the minus terminal of our 19 volt connection, but finding where to stick the positive terminal is a little trickier. And now if I knew what I was doing, this is the part where I would tell you exactly how to do that. But this is Bringa Studios, ladies and gentlemen, and we have exhausted my knowledge. There's definitely two different voltages coming through here though, because these are two very separated areas. We only need to power the 19 volt pin to get this thing to turn on, I'm fairly certain. The 54 volt pin is only when you want to use the PoE features, which we don't. So the way I'm thinking about this is, if you apply the wrong voltage to a circuit, bad things can happen. But usually it's only bad when you put too much voltage through a circuit. So my thinking here is that we can put 19 volts through either one of these, and if it lands on the 19 volt side, sick. And if it lands on the 54 volt side, not sick because it won't turn on, but it shouldn't cause damage because putting 19 volts where 54 volts is expected is not that bad, so it shouldn't do any damage, right? Don't learn anything from this section, by the way. I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's do it. Gonna stick the power supply clamp right onto that guy right there, okay? And we'll put ground right here. All right, power supply on. All right, if this fan spins, we're in business. Power button was here, so this should be it. Let's see.
Nope.
Okay, power supply off. We'll try a pin on the other side. Power supply on. Oh, it doesn't like that. The power supply dropped to 0 volts. Usually that means I'm shorted to something. You know what I really should have checked? To see if any of the pins in here are ground. Yeah, they totally are. I just shorted the crap out of it. That should be okay. That one particular pin was ground. Very cool. Alright, well, let's try this one. Wait, nope. Let's try this one. Power supply on. Oh, did you see that? It spun. I saw it. Oh, there it goes again. So the fan just spins and then stops. I think it's trying to start? Okay, well either way, we know which pin is the right pin now. This one right here. So now all we gotta do is find out which pad that is. Okay, it's that one. Ground connection here now, and a 19 volt connection here now. Now that we've done that, I can screw the wire. Bruh. There we go. As I was saying, the wires can be put into these terminal blocks. Now we can plug a real proper 19 volt AC adapter into this thing. Connectorino, pluggerino, not working, you know. What the heck, dude? New plan. When you don't like your solder points, you make your own. And how about now? Nothing? Come on, man. Okay, I've made a pretty epic discovery. This dark green plane, yeah, that's not connected to this pin. I didn't look close enough, and it's hard to even see on camera here, but that pin is not part of that plane. So that's why it wasn't turning on. I've soldered to the pin, as God intended. Let's try again. Hey, there we go. How about we plug HDMI in? Would you look at that? Oh, it's hauling ass now. Oh God, it's going, it's going. The fan went full speed like 7 times. Now nothing? Cool. How do you even troubleshoot this, dude? What if I take out the RAM and put it back in?
Yeah!
Oh, no way it's working! The fan's not on. Do you want to activate Chrome Vox, the built-in screen? No. Your Google Meet hardware is ready to set up. So this thing really does just run without the fan then. and I think the loud fan was the indicator that the RAM was not seated correctly. Okay, we'll get a handy dandy Ethernet cable plugged in here. Downloading the latest update. Very cool. This reminds me a lot of Chrome OS, I have to say. Oh, this literally is just Chrome OS. I am a little concerned that the fan is no longer spinning. Maybe it'll kick on later. Google Meet hardware is ready to set up. Again. Enterprise enrollment? That's not good. Uh-oh. Can I be my own enterprise? Oh, I can be. Enrollment error. Your organization limits device enrollment to authorized users only. Okay. Oh, wait, hold up. Look at this in the corner. Use as a personal device. Well, that didn't change anything. What the heck? I clicked use as a personal device. Alright, I don't know how far we're going to get with this. I am glad that this thing at least turns on now. I got a little bit of cleaning up to do. So essentially this thing is just a Chromebook. With Chromebooks and Chromeboxes and whatever, there's like a recovery console that you can sort of get into. I'm going to try and do that. Usually they've got some kind of button or pin you gotta push. I think this is the one right here, this button. So I'm gonna hold this and turn it on. There we go. Okay, we're at the recovery screen. So now Control D, there we go. To turn OS verification off, press the recovery button. Okay, this one. OS verification is off. Okay, cool. So that is step one to getting another OS on this thing. Your system is transitioning to developer mode. Modifications you make to the system are not supported by Google, may cause hardware issues, and may void warranty. Just the way I like it. Okay, this stupid thing has finished its transition, whatever that means. Control Alt F2. Ooh. Okay, I believe the root user is Kronos. There we go. Now there's a lovely script put together on mrchromebox.tech that should make it so we can install like a UEFI compatible bootloader type thing in this thing. And then from there it's game over. This thing is all mine to game on. Okay, so the only problem here now though is that it says firmware write protect enabled. If we're going to be doing anything with this, we need to disable the firmware write protect. And on these weird Chrome things, there's usually a screw you can actually just physically remove that disables write protection. So I'm going to turn it off. We'll see if we can't figure out where that screw is. It's also possible that it might just be two pads that I have to bridge with solder. I'm kind of the first person that I know of that's messing with this thing, so kind of on our own here. This kind of looks like it to me because you can see that the pad is like split in two areas. So putting a screw in here would contact both the pads and then short it to enable write protection. But the screw's not in there anymore, so that can't be it. Press PP button now. This thing doesn't have genitals. Every time press PP button now comes up, I have to hit the power button for some reason. It just says another press will be required, and then suddenly it's gonna pop up to tell me to press it. I gotta be ready. I don't know why I have to do this, but if it works, it works. I'm at the point in this guide where I need to connect something called a Suzy Q cable.
What's that?
It's this bizarre debugging cable, and you can't buy it anymore. Unless we get that cable, there's no way I'm installing a full firmware. But we can do this RW Legacy one. RW Legacy firmware cannot be used to run Windows. Period. Well, I'm no stranger to Linux. Whoa! Oh, I didn't like that. Image size doesn't match the expected size. Okay. And everything else is write protected. Here's the new plan. We're just gonna get into the default Chrome OS that's already on this thing, and then see what we can do from there. Enable debugging features. Sure, why not? Can't hurt. Ooh, enable booting from USB drives. This might be exactly what we're looking for. Okay. Root password. Gaming. Confirm. Gaming. So now do I just burn a Linux flash drive and we're good? For good luck, we're going to be using the golden flash drive again. Godspeed, little buddy. Alright, Control U. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Look at that. Could not boot from USB. Thank you, Quora. Reboot, but this time with Linux installed to a finger, and the Chromebook is fingered by it. Okay. So I can't get into this thing's Chrome OS because of the enterprise enrollment garbage. Can't boot from a flash drive.
Nope.
Because God knows why. Guy on Reddit says to press Control Alt H. Oh, are you sure you want to set up this device to run Hangouts Meet? No. Is that the wrong answer? Yes. Neither of them do anything. I have once again run some more commands from Reddit disabling something called OEM device requisition. So now we're gonna reboot. Hope for the best. if we just did one of these, huh?
I'm going to...
See you later. Oh, shoot. I broke the crap out of this. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, see you later, buckaroo.
Many thanks.
How about now? Right protect is still enabled. Does this thing even go back in? Not really.
Hello again.
Okay. Irreparable harm once again. At this point, I was getting pretty pissed off, because this thing just didn't want to be gamed on, and I didn't bother to keep the camera rolling since this video is already going to be long enough. I'd gone back to the original guide that I was following, you know, the one that needed the Suzy Q cable, which you can't buy anymore, and I thought to myself, what the heck is so special about this cable anyway? And turns out I'm not the first person to think that, since other people who are in the same boat as me said, fuck it, and they just made one themselves. Apparently, Google put out an official specification for the Suzy Q cable, making it technically possible to just create your own. All you need to do is solder 2 resistors to certain pins on a Type-C jack, and then solder a USB-A cable into it. And since I'm no shank mods, I just bought a breakout board for a Type-C jack and soldered the resistors and the USB cable directly to that instead of the Type-C jack. As long as the spec that Google put out for this thing is correct, then it should let me directly interface with the security chip on the motherboard and then curb stomp the write protection to the shadow realm. So from what I understand about using this cable, I'm supposed to plug this end into the only Type-C port that's on here, and then the regular USB end into one of the regular USB ports, which is extremely cursed, and everything I know about electronics conventionally would tell me that this is not a good idea. But the documentation for this cable is from Google, so it should be fine. Okay, so this command should open up the CR50 security chip for disabling write protection. Nope. Very cool. Oh wait, I think I already did this. Yeah, this was the thing that told me to press the PP button. Okay, it says that if it doesn't show up, sometimes you gotta flip it. Well, the guide says not to plug it in until this part, so I'm gonna unplug it and reboot it. I remember when I thought that just unplugging the cable and rebooting was gonna do anything. I was so innocent back then. No, it turned out that for, well, I don't know, the next 4 or 5 hours maybe, my cable wouldn't be doing anything remotely like what it was supposed to be doing. Eventually I took off my insanity tinted glasses and realized that I probably just built the cable wrong. And this was partially true. I'd flipped the green and white wires that ran to the USB-A cable, but at the time I didn't know that. I was too busy trying literally everything I could think of, including resoldering the entire board, trying different value resistors, bridging all the 5-volt lines, bridging all the ground points. Hell, I even deconstructed the entire thing onto a breadboard, but it still wouldn't work. It doesn't even show up as connected to the computer at all. You know what would really help to troubleshoot this? Having something that is known good and working to test my cable on. What I need is, for the first time in my life, a Chromebook. So it was off to the e-waste store again for trip number 2. I found this piece of crap HP Chromebook with a screen that's just barely still clinging to life. I plugged my abomination of a USB cable in, and for the first time in this entire project, the computer started communicating with the security chip. That means that my cable actually works. So what's the deal then? Why doesn't it work on the Lenovo Meet computer? How do I sanity check something that I don't know anything about? In my desperation, I turned to the people that do know a thing or two about stuff like this. The citizens of the Krultrabook Discord server. Please get a better name. These folks know a thing or two about Chrome OS-based devices, and with their help, we figured out nothing. Even to this day, while I'm editing this, nobody knows why it works on this random Chromebook, but not on the Lenovo Meet computer. But you know what user Ellie knew about? Something she refers to as a gamer move, which is also known as shorting SPI pin 3 to 8. Oh, but what the heck does that mean? What's an SPI chip? So the SPI chip is what's write protected that we've been trying to unwrite protect this entire time. It's the thing that's being written to when we write our UEFI firmware, which is what lets us boot Windows and Linux. As it turns out, if you solder a wire between pins 3 and 8 on the SPI chip, it will disable write protection. Exactly what we need here. Left with no other options, I soldered a jumper wire, risking even more irreparable harm to the motherboard. I guess this is also a good time to mention that I figured out what that power port is, and I bought the matching jack from DigiKey and then soldered it to a female barrel jack, so I don't have to rely on this anymore. We're just gonna pretend that all of that never happened. There you go, good as new. Now the only thing left to do is see if shorting the SPI chip would finally disable write protection on it. Oh, buddy. And I think you can guess that it did. God bless you, Ellie. God bless you. With the core boot UEFI firmware now installed on our freshly writable SPI chip, I popped in the 16GB stick of DDR4 that I bought earlier, a 1TB NVMe SSD to replace the old SATA one, and then I got to work doing what I do best. Now that everything is finally good to go on this thing, I think it's SteamOS time. And the flavor of SteamOS we're going to be using today is this one called Bazite. Actually, hold on.
Bazite.
Oh my god. That dude puts Microsoft Sam to shame for creepiest text-to-speech. Bazite. This is just another operating system, apparently powered by Fedora, that puts the Deck UI from the Steam Deck as kind of the primary GUI, which is exactly what we want. Alright, so we knew this thing was an 8th Gen i7, but now we can see that it's an i7-8550U at a whole 1.8 gigahertz. Very fast. It sees our 16 gig stick of RAM, so that's good. Whoa. Oh my. Oh, look at that. So they've got pre-made images on here for the Steam Deck, ROG Ally. I'm not sure what this Asus one is. This is probably NVIDIA GPU support. Framework, that's cool. They got one for the Surface? Wow, there's a lot of these. Well, I'm just gonna go with the regular one, I guess. Oh, welcome to Fedora 38. So they just cannibalized the regular installer, I guess. Oh my. Kickstart insufficient. What does that mean? Okay. Alright. Oh, okay. I clicked on this and then hit done, and now it's fine. Maybe it just wants me to verify all this stuff. No user will be created. How does that work? I'm gonna enable that. Okay, let's do it. Ah, there it is. Wait, this thing doesn't come with Steam? What? What the heck? Oh, welcome to Bazite. Setting up Bazite Arch. Sets up a custom Arch Linux OCI. What the heck? Okay, clearly I don't understand what's happening. So you take the wheel, Bazite. Let's give it the old sign in. How about that? And there's Steam. And I've already downloaded some games ahead of time. We can just plug that right into the Type-C port. There we go. There it is. Welcome, Google Meet Series 1 compute unit to the elite group of computers that are now Steam Decks. But do she play like a Steam Deck? Let's find out. Nice. Instant 2.4 gigabyte update. Very cool. Now we can play. Nope, gotta do the Vulkan shaders. Just like a real Steam Deck. Oh my god. This, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the SteamOS experience. So this is, not great. Recommended setting for your system configuration, and it gave us high. For the sake of getting double-digit FPS, we're going to 720p. Oh, okay, so that's how it's gonna be, huh? Oh, this looks bad. Please, for the love of God, get this man some more pixels. Let's get an FPS counter. That's what a game that's running really good looks like. Okay, almost 30 FPS. This is better than the PlayStation 4. Can we get 60 FPS? Alright, I'm gonna make a deal with the devil. We're going to 350p. Oh my goodness. No way, dude, no way. Oh my goodness, why is this a supported resolution? I can hardly even distinguish the numbers on the FPS counter. Wow, this is like PlayStation 1 edition. Counter-Strike 2 for the PlayStation 1. You know what's even more incredible is we're still not really getting 60 FPS. Well, sometimes I guess. It gets there eventually. I would now like to try kicking all the bots. Wow, that is very readable. I've learned from you guys, from the PS4 video, where I played Counter-Strike on the PS4, that kicking the bots ups the frame rate like crazy. And while I still can't really read that number all that great, I can tell that it's above 60 more often than not. So yeah, it actually helped quite a bit. Look at that, 80 almost? We're banging off 80 right now? Does getting over 60 FPS really matter if there's nobody to play against? That being said, let's try an online game. We couldn't go online with the PS4 because the game was running too slow and there was no way that was going to happen. However, this is technically running fine. Okay, so I'm not playing right now, this is just me spectating. But 30-ish, 40 FPS, not too bad. The side of the screen is very colorful. Alright, match point. It's my time to shine. Oh no. Oh boy, here we go. Let's do this, team. I can't see anything, but it's all good. I got this. Let's go. I got this. Let's go. Oh, Oh, they didn't even know it hit him. Well, that's what happens when my 350p ass joins the game. How about something new? Team Fortress 2. You know, believe it or not, this is not the worst way I've ever played TF2. Look at that, I can even downright get kills. And get killed. You know what, 40 FPS, that is downright respectable. Not even bad. Unfortunately though, this level of performance does not allow for circles. Oh, he stole it from me. Alright, let's try some more games on this beast of a computer. Everything else that I wanted to try completely just doesn't run. So, let's continue in Windows. This is not great. Potato. Yeah, that's accurate. This flickering is really good. I bet we're gonna have a great time. There's genuinely half a second between moving the mouse and something happening. Ooh, 13 FPS, baby. Black Mesa has to just be like the heaviest source game. It has not run well even once. Although considering what I usually run this on, I guess that's not too surprising. Alright, well that's mediocre at best. I like how GTA 5 tries to make you feel better about your terrible computer by not giving you a low option for graphics. You just get normal. It's okay, it's normal to be low performance, I swear. Remember, it's not about the size of your graphics card, it's about how you use it. And oh boy, am I using it. Yep, this is rough. Let's try the tried and true method of turning it down to as low as physically possible. 800 by 600. Hey, look at that. That's pretty good. Hold on, I think we can make it even better. Turn off VSync. Look at that. Okay, didn't really help much. 30 FPS. This is downright playable. If I was like 13 again and this is all that I had, I would still play the absolute shit out of this. If the options are A, don't play game, or B, play game, brother, the quality does not matter. I'm playing the game. For the more discerning of you out there, let's try 720p. Oh, you know what? 720p is not bad. You get a little bit of a visual bump. Honestly though, I kind of still prefer the 800 by 600. Absolutely sick. Oh, I was hoping I was gonna land on that guy. Not bad, not bad. Oh, yikes. This is certainly not optimal. Alright, we're just gonna skip 1080p and go right to the minimum resolution of 720p. Actually, we can probably go lower if we do 4x3. Yeah, 640 by 480, let's do it. Oh yeah, 60 FPS. Dude, this isn't even bad. Okay, I know me saying that the games before were downright playable was kind of a meme, but like, look at this one. Dude, 480p never looked so good. This is ridiculous. I'm impressed. I mean, I shouldn't be because it's 480p. Damn, not bad. Far Cry 5, everything low, including you. Oh, yikes. Oh, this is not having it. Is this actually all low? That doesn't feel like all low. No, motion blur is still on. Okay, how about now? Okay, that didn't help at all. Wow, that's atrocious. I expected a little better than 8 FPS. Oh my goodness, dude. Alright, well, down goes the resolution. Dang, 720p is actually the lowest that this game supports. Alright, 720p. Wow, that's bad. That is really bad. I didn't think this game was so heavy. And I mean, I didn't think it was a light game by any means, but damn, dude. Is there anything else we can do? Resolution scale, half. So now we're going to be rendering at half of 720p. And it's still terrible. That barely helped at all. What the heck? Look at this, dude. This is the Lenovo Google Meet Series 1 Compute Unit Gaming Experience. Wow. You know, I thought we were promised 400 FPS. That Coral AI chip lied. 400 frames per second. Pff, okay, dude. More like 400 farts per second. Got him. Alright, I've seen enough. Should you game on the Lenovo Google Meet Series 1 Compute Unit? No! Do not! Not a chance. Absolutely not. No. This thing has taken me over a week to get figured out between tracking down this stupid power jack, building this stupid debug cable, buying an entire Chromebook just to sanity check myself, soldering to the BIOS chip, and spending hours troubleshooting on Discord, all for what? Performance that an Xbox 360 would laugh at? Nah, dude. Don't buy this. Well, okay, don't buy it if you want to do any gaming, because otherwise the CPU in here is actually not too bad. And look at this, you get all these Ethernet ports. I don't think you can do anything with the HDMI in, unfortunately, but you got 2 HDMI outs. You got Wi-Fi, 2 RAM slots, and a full-size NVMe. It actually ran really quiet the whole time, too. So, I mean, I guess for gaming, this thing is bad in the same way that this hammer is a bad screwdriver. All in all, I do like this thing. I just never want to mess with it again. If you're insane and you do want to mess with this thing, there will be a link in the description to where you can get a hold of this power jack. And I'm also going to leave a link to the Discord community of Book. There were a ton of people giving me help in there. I super appreciate it. Shout out to Mr. Chromebox himself. He's the one that makes almost all of this work in the first place. Also, Weird Tree Thing. Those two have done a whole lot of troubleshooting to help get this whole thing working, and it would not have happened without them. And until the next video, I'll leave you with the farewell song of my people. Thanks for watching. If you like what I do and want to see me do more, I'm over on Patreon. Description's where you look toward. Pop on over in here. Don't worry, let me get the door. Sorry, no OnlyFans. Sadly, I'm not a person who does that. If you're suddenly broke without $1 to spare, just join the Discord, you'll find me and my hair. It's a chill place, everyone's got something to share. Description again, so hurry, get your ass in there. Didn't think you'd be seeing this guy again, did ya? Yeah, here we are. You, me, and the Google Meet. If you're looking at this thing and thinking, who the heck is Google Meet? You didn't watch the video where we gamed on this bad boy. And spoiler alert, it wasn't the best. Oh, this looks bad. Please, for the love of God, get this man some more pixels. That's what a game that's running really good looks like. But it has potential. In the time between that video and now, I've done some thinking. If this thing only had a half-decent GPU, it would be half-decent. And I'm not going to keep you guys in suspense today. We're putting a GPU in this thing.
Graphics cards.
But how? And I don't know about you, but in the first video, I didn't spot a PCI Express slot anywhere. But if there's anything that I've learned from this guy,
Properly terrible gaming.
it's that if you can install this, then you can install this. So let's get this bad boy open and then I'll show you guys the game plan. As you guys can see, I have pre-skinned our Lenovo today. When I took the rubberized back off of it the first time, it left a bunch of sticky residue. And as you can see, that is now gone. Anyway. And just simply plugging our graphics card into the SSD slot is not exactly all that I want to do with this thing. I want to go a little bit further than that. The goal today is to minimize the jank. We're going bougie this time. This cable right here is Oculink. It's basically just PCI Express as a cable. The goal today is to take this female end of the Oculink cable and then mount it somewhere to the outside of the chassis of this thing. Where exactly, I'm not 100% sure yet. And by having this accessible from the outside of the computer, you can easily plug and unplug a graphics card from this thing without having to have it all open like this. So if we're going to use this cable, and we're going to plug this end into a graphics card, where are we plugging this end? Ain't got no port. And that is where stinky little adapter number 1 comes in. You take this guy, put it where this guy currently is, and just like that, you have an Oculink port. Because like I said earlier, these things are just PCI Express. And conveniently, NVMe slots are also just PCI Express. All of these little pins in here would connect to your motherboard. And on an NVMe slot, only like a fourth of these are actually going to get hooked up. But it's the best we got. So here's our SSD. This is where the operating system is currently installed. But for now, in goes the Oculink adapter. Look at that. Step 1, complete. Easy. We're basically already gaming. Actually, that's a lie, because all the games are on here. So where's this guy gonna go? Well, we're just gonna keep playing M.2 musical chairs here, and we're gonna evict the Wi-Fi card. But I don't really want to give up Wi-Fi, so we need a new home for this guy. Look at him, he's just so cute. Why would you get rid of him? I can't even believe that you were thinking that. Wi-Fi card will remember that. Do not worry, my children. I am a benevolent creator. I have a plan for all my children. Except for this one. There's no plan for him. I hate him. Stupid Google Coral AI chip. A chip full of lies. If you watched the first Google Meet video, you would know that Google promised us 400 FPS, but this isn't even 40 FPS. So rest in piss, Google Coral AI chip, and long live the Wi-Fi card. Also, while we're here, I also discovered that there was a second DIMM slot in the other video, and I didn't know that ahead of time, and I just bought a single stick of RAM. I have another one of these coming, and we'll stick it in the back, and we'll have 32 gigs of DDR4. I'm gonna have to find a way to get the Wi-Fi card antennas to go from here to like over here, but I'm confident future me can figure that out. But until then, let's see what we can do about the SSD. So the Wi-Fi card slot is not the same kind of slot that the SSD needs to go into. They're both M.2, but this is M key and this is not. But that's okay. AliExpress adapter number 2 saves the day. Yoink. Yoink. Just a little bit of human centipede action, no big deal. This is a big deal though. The fan be in the way. And normally this is where I would say that this looks like a problem for the Dremel. You still got most of the disc. But even if I did cut off a little bit of the PCB here, there's still nowhere to mount this thing. Normally there's a little screw post that you would screw into, but under there's nothing. So, actually, I do have this. This is the old SSD out of my Steam Deck from when I upgraded it to 1 terabyte. Poo-poo point. So now the stream location is correct. Where this is poo-poo point, this part of the Steam Deck, and we're currently here. And there's like perforations in the PCB. So we can take this ultra tiny little SSD, and look at that. It even lines up with the thing they pre-installed. Oh, this feels very wrong. Purposely breaking a PCB. I know it's safe because all of the traces are just in the front there, but this is, oh man. My mechanical sympathy alarm bells are going off right now. Okay. It's not going. I don't like that. It's just bending the piss out of it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, that didn't sound good. Oh, alright, I'm gonna put this by the mic for ASMR. Oh, okay, well that was terrible. But look at that. Nice little compact package. So that will go into our old Wi-Fi slot, and there's no screw post. Wasn't there a screw post? This just goes right into the heatsink. Oh, it's right there. And there we go. I think at this point I've technically installed SteamOS on this. SteamOS is installed on this. And let this be a lesson to all you guys out there. It's not about the length, it's about how you use it. Also, while we're in here, I'm going to do penance for my sin of absolutely demolishing the BIOS battery slot. See you later. Oh, shoot. I have like a laptop style BIOS battery that's like all packaged here, but the JST connector that I'm going to solder in there has not arrived yet, so that's for later. So now the last step, I suppose, is rerouting these Wi-Fi cables. Oh, yikes. I don't actually know if that's going to be possible. I don't know if our black cable is going to be able to run all the way over here. So I took this off. It's like the metal frame that holds the motherboard in. Yeah, I didn't even know that this came out, but it does. And whether or not we can get this cable to reach, I don't know. But it needs to go through there. That was a lot of work for a feature I'm probably never going to use. Now that we've got all the various cards moved around, let's do a sanity check and make sure this thing still boots. Yup, we're good to game. I was gonna be pretty bummed if I totally killed this thing already. It was not out of the realm of possibility. So logically, the next step is to hook our GPU up and see what happens. And the way we're gonna do that is with yet another AliExpress adapter. This one takes your normal graphics card slot and turns it into Oculink. We do need a power supply to go with it, but that's not a big deal. Bada bing, bada boom. And just to keep it simple for this first test, we're just gonna use this Radeon something graphics card plugged in, Oculink plugged in, and then into here. Okay, look at that. Kinda awful, kinda not too bad. But does it work? My goodness, we are running out of table space. Okay, the graphics card wants to take a nap, so that guy's gonna lay down, I guess. Power on. Oh, okay, now this. And it is doing nothing. Maybe there's something we have to do in the BIOS? And it's not like this thing exactly has the most normal BIOS, so we'll see. Oh, yikes. All we can do is mess with Secure Boot? Oh boy. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna install Windows to the SSD real quick, and then we'll go from there. I changed out the graphics card for this other crummier one, because the other one wasn't doing anything. But joke's on me, because this one's not doing anything either. As you can see in Windows, all we have is our Intel UHD graphics, which is what this is right here. There is a DVI cable plugged in, but it's not plugged into anything, because it doesn't matter, because watch this. A whole lot of nothing. I get no video from the graphics card, it doesn't show up in Device Manager, and trust me, all of this random crap down here, none of these are the graphics card. I can guarantee you that. Last time I was messing with this thing, these were all here, and it's just all the random weird hardware that's on this thing. It's just kind of like that. But interestingly, watch this. I'll turn the computer off, and then this guy, he turns off. So they are communicating somehow. I just don't really know where the breakdown is. So to troubleshoot this, I ordered another one of these Oculink adapters. If this particular Oculink adapter just doesn't work, we will be able to find out after they show up from Amazon. Alright, what the heck? This thing is working now, plugged into a real actual computer. See, look at that, there it is. And as you can see here, we are posted. Look at that, Advanced Micro Devices Inc.
AMD.
So it's certainly seeing it. Why? New adapter from Amazon. It's gonna make the whole thing work. I don't know where this part's gonna go in the video. It's been like 10 billion years since I started this, but it's working. This is a Radeon RX 480. I was testing it with other cards at some point, but this one is actually working the best. It's hooked up using this NVMe adapter. This little stubby guy works great. Something, it's not about the size, you know. But don't take my word for it. Look at this. This is GTA 5 running on the RX 480. And I can tell you it's running on the RX 480 because this is 1080p at a mix of high and very high settings. And you know what's even crazier? Those of you that really understand what I'm about to tell you are gonna hate this. It's running at PCIe by 2. This is a PCIe 3 by 2 link. I have no idea why, but this NVMe slot is not wired up for by 4, or it's just not working correctly in the firmware or something. I don't know. The wizards over on the Culturebook server are kind of figuring this out for me right now. But this is the performance uplift we're getting with a by 2 connection. Your graphics card has 16 little highways that it can communicate with the computer with, but right now we are pushing all of that traffic through just 2 of them, and it's still working this well. Absolutely bananas. The proof of concept is a resounding success. Now let's minimize the jank. You've seen the business side, but have you seen the gaming side? You don't want to see my gaming side. These are not 3D printer errors, these are gaming lines. We now have a beautiful cutout for the Oculink port. Not only that, but we once again have those grippers. Look at that, she ain't going nowhere. One of the prototypes for this whole back piece was like a completely ventilated version, but then looking inside of here, I realized that this whole part right here is the air intake, and there's actually some components in here that need cooling, and they need the air to go from here to here. So instead, the whole thing is just solid, and this isn't all I was working on. Oh, I've been busy. I soldered in a connector for a new CMOS battery. I got our second stick of 16GB DDR4, and I slapped that bad boy right on the back. And the only thing left to do now is finish off the GPU dock. I've got the general skeleton figured out already, and I do want to make a nice ventilated enclosure, but I didn't have the GPU on hand yet, so I couldn't really measure it. However, okay, the question on everybody's mind, is this overkill? Surprisingly, the answer might be no. And I'll let the people that understand PCI Express a little better than me clarify in the comments, because I have no idea if this line of thinking is correct. But remember earlier when I was playing GTA 5 on this thing on the RX 480, oh no, that A came off, no. Anyway, when I was playing GTA 5, we discovered that this was only a 2x link. That's actually non-standard for NVMe slots in general. They're supposed to be a by 4 link, but this one just sucks. Sacrifices had to be made to hook up 5 gigabit Ethernet ports, I suppose. So my thinking was, if we're going to be so limited by only a by 2 PCIe connection, we're going to want the fastest possible card to just kind of brute force it. What I imagine to be the reason that this thought process breaks down is because you actually reach like a point of diminishing returns with how much data you can even shove through that connection. And if that's the case, this is completely overkill. There's definitely a bottleneck with that by 2 connection, and you guys know me. I'm not gonna try and find the optimal graphics card for this situation. I'm just gonna install big GPU. Big GPU, go fast. Oh hey, it came with a mouse mat. That's pretty cool.
Actually, it's a repair mat for when your GPU overheats and dies.
It's actually not really that much bigger than the 1080. It's a wee bit thicker, but it's pretty much the same footprint. Radeon scum. Who wants it? And just like that, Bob's at your dad's family reunion. Man, do I even want to make an enclosure? This is a really nice looking card. You know what, AMD? You've convinced me. No enclosure. We're just gonna raw dog it. Let's do this. Okay, this thing is epic. I just triggered OPP on this power supply with just the card connected. The whole thing just shut down on me when I loaded up 3D Mark. So, sorry, 450 BT, you're not gonna cut it. But you, my beloved TX 850, you will lead the people to gaming. About halfway through recording all the gameplay, I realized that there was an atrocious buzzing in most of the recording. When the GPU is under heavy load, the power supply just starts buzzing uncontrollably, and a lot of that got into the audio. I have since switched back to a mic that is not affected by the buzzing, but until we get to the GTA gameplay, you will just have to suffer. I am sorry in advance. Anyway. Oh, and it rebooted. Very cool. Buttery smooth. It won't let me change off 1080p. Well, that's fine. For once in my life, I don't need to. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going all the way up. No super resolution, it's all raster here. No! No! Why? Why crash? No! My match was ready! This is not good. This is not good at all. Oh, that would do it. I think my very cool bottom that I made for myself is not adequate for airflow. The gaming side, more like the roasting side. Good thing I still have the prototype ventilated cover. There we go. All right, let's try this one more time. Ah! Oh, wow. It instantly reset when I started Prime 95. Oh, yikes. Maybe I'm drawing too much power from the AC adapter. I don't know, this is wild. All right, 180 watt power adapter. It's foolproof. Our problems are all solved. The video is saved. I believe. Come on. Prime 95, go. Oh, we're hitting it. The temperature seems to be under control. This poor thing has been through so much. I don't know how we were browning out a 90 watt AC adapter on this CPU. It's only drawn 20 watts. Is everything else on this board really that power hungry? I don't know. All I know is that gaming is back on the menu, boys. Oh yeah, we're in game, and oh boy, are we gaming. I'm actually so happy that it just turned out to be a power issue. This was gonna be so much harder to diagnose if it was unstable because of something I did. But just like our GPU here, shoving more power at the problem completely solved it. That is how we do it around here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute win. So here's Counter-Strike when we were just using the integrated graphics, and here's how it's running now. I'd say it's a little better, but folks, we got more games to try out. Team Fortress 2? Oh, thank you. Thank you for upscaling this obscure resolution to another more obscure resolution. Alright, maximum settings. Let's play a game, YouTube. When I get into a match, how many bots are gonna be there? And will I get instantly kicked? Let's see. Wait, no bots? If you said no bots, somehow, I think you were correct. Hey, that's pretty good. What the? Nah, what? Absolutely not. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, never mind. If you said no bots, you were very wrong. Look at that, though. We are in the hundreds of FPS in TF2. I mean, you leave spawn and we're instantly down about 130 FPS, but you know, if that ain't a bot. Oh, no. Oh! I'll take it. I'm stopping on a high note. I will admit, the CPU is kind of still in danger of melting. That's okay. We got games to play. Oh, like to see that. Normal, everything normal. But folks, there's nothing normal about this performance. 80 FPS, we love to see it. Look at that, even up to 90 when you're drowning in the lake. So this was how the game was running with the integrated graphics before, compared to now. Once again, I'd say we've got a bit of a performance uplift. The game's actually playable in 1080p, unlike last time. Clearly, the GPU is overkill for GTA 5. And realistically, this is not that much better than the RX 480 from earlier. And considering the price gap between an RX 480 and a 6950 XT, we are certainly beginning to cement my purchase in clown territory. Well, hold on. Oh my, that's how you know it's running good. When the menu freezes up for 5 whole seconds. Very high, ultra. I don't think our PCIe by 2 link is gonna like this very much, but we'll see. Cranking it to ultra graphics? Yeah, looks like the GPU has something to do now. Interesting. So the performance in terms of FPS is like exactly the same, but the graphics are just way higher now. Somebody who knows what they're talking about, leave a comment as to why that's the case. The short answer is because I'm using an awful PCIe by 2 connection, but the long answer is probably more interesting. And unfortunately, I don't really know what it is. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna crank the graphics up on everything else too. Seems like there's no difference in performance. Doom 2016, everything ultra. And the reason we're in Doom 2016 and not Doom Eternal is because in the original video I played Doom 2016, there was no chance that the iGPU was going to be playing Doom Eternal. We had to go all the way down to 480p to get half-decent performance. But today, ladies and gentlemen, 1080p, 150 FPS. It's just beautiful. Oh my god, briefly 500 FPS in the menu. Out of every game so far, this definitely feels the most, like, stable. Because in some of the other games, for just a second, it would go down to, like, 1 FPS and then right back up. But Doom's pretty consistent. I got a feeling I'm not going to feel that way about our next game, though. Far Cry 5. Let me remind you how Far Cry 5 ran on the iGPU. Ran is a very, very strong word for this. It was just 100% unplayable. And this time, it is quite playable. I actually can't even be mad. This is pretty good. Especially because this game kind of just runs bad in general. Oh wait, nope, there it comes, there's the bad. Now I want to try something. What actually happens if we increase the resolution scale? I'm pretty sure that means that we're rendering in 4K now. Oh, that's not better at all. Nothing's happening and we're at 40 FPS. Well, actually, I don't know. I'd say it's about the same. Okay, new test. 1x resolution scale, but I'm going to set the game resolution to 720p. That should make AMD RSR kick in. Yup, look at that. Okay, so the GPU is upscaling from 720p to 1080p, and it's going to do it in a way that makes it look decent, in theory. I don't know, I think that's how it works. Back in my day, we just went into the game, pressed the resolution that you wanted, and you press OK, and that's what the resolution you were going to be playing at was. Kids these days with their newfangled AI upscaling and frame generation is just a bunch of hoopla to me. Oh, that looks kind of trippy. Seems like it made, I don't know, a little difference. Not really much of anything. 100? Oh, well that's because I'm leaving the battlefield. Ah, there we go. You look at the action and it takes a dump. Okay, maybe a little better. I don't know. I'd probably just leave it off. But in conclusion, is this better than the iGPU? Absolutely! Did we achieve Chromebox feng shui today by minimizing the jank? We did not. This has been nothing but jank the entire time. I went through 2 different Oculink adapters. The CPU fan was off doing